Leeds and Everton played last night. Leeds won with a controversial penalty, though I would argue they were the better team anyway. But of course, being the better team and what you deserve in football is nothing. It's only what happens with the outcome that matters. Let's get an Everton view on this. Dave Johnson is from Falcon Blues, the Everton supporters group. He joins us now. Good afternoon, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Afternoon, gents. We all right?
Yeah,
good,
very,
thanks.
very good. Thanks for joining us. First of all, on last night, I guess I thought Leeds were a better team, but that doesn't matter to a fan when you see yourself getting sawed off by a refereeing decision.
No, it doesn't. I mean, but that shouldn't take away, how bad Everton were yesterday. I mean, we were really, really poor. But, the penalty decision, and, this isn't the first time Chris Kavanagh's been giving Everton the wrong end of the stick, So, we've seen it where he sent Ancelotti off against Man United. We've seen the red card against Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Crystal Palace, the handball at Rodri for Man City. I could go on, to be honest with you, but I'd be here all day. But it just feels like sometimes, are we getting the not getting the rub of the green? The penalty decision really last night, you will not see that get given again.
I thought it was a scandal. I'll be honest with you, Dave. I'm not just saying it was a scandal. If that's a penalty, then we're ruined. Because every touch of anybody's arm is a penalty, and the players will learn just to flick the ball up onto people's arms. It was a real shame, I thought, for the game. But you're right, though. Let's concentrate on Everton. A great deal of good feeling around the club these days, I presume, because the new stadium, I've not been to it. It looks amazing, the way it appears to be floating there in the Mersey. But that's a bad start for them, isn't it? Because there was no signs of real progress in the team.
I mean, when you look at the results that we had when Moyes come in, it was just a complete turnaround from Dyche. Last night, we almost reverted back to the way Sean Dyche played his football, on the back foot, soaking up pressure and just allowing teams to just come onto us. But there was just nothing there last night. There was no... Leeds were just direct, and I know it's probably the opening game of the season for them in the Premier League and stuff, so you're going to expect them to be full of adrenaline and just going to charge at you, but Everton should have been more than capable of going toe to toe with that. Yeah. We've been around long enough to know teams from the lower divisions are going to come up and go and have a go at you in the opening few games of the season, and Everton should have been well onto that. And Moyes needs to take a lot of flack for that. I know we're very short on personnel in the defence and stuff, and I thought we dealt with that quite well. But the midfield was just obsolete. And, you're asking him to make changes. You're screaming at the telly. You're screaming at the ground, getting him to make a change. He's not making those changes till 60, 75 minutes. And it's like, well, where do we go? You're not doing anything.
I was supposed to play David's voice into this now, but you've actually started to hit one of the nails on the head. I don't understand modern football unless Jack Grealish has spent the whole of the closed season in a kebab shop. Why on earth would you pay the bloke hundreds of thousands of pounds a week and not start him? I don't get it anymore. I don't get this thing of not playing the new players you get in.
I'd say it's not like you're playing a 50-year-old man. You're playing a young man in his prime. If he's give him 60 minutes from the start. Then,
yes, exactly.
And not bringing on when you're chasing the game. We looked a little bit better in the second half, but in the end, it was to naught. We lost to a very late penalty, and we probably could have ground out a result, but we probably could have had a bit more about us in the midfield, because that's where we were losing the ball so much, and we had the defence on the back foot all game. Playing from the start, if he starts to flag, bring him off. The only thing I can see a reason why Leeds didn't play Calvert-Lewin, because he'd literally played 30 minutes since January.
Yeah. Different story, different thing.
He's been involved. He's still been involved. He's not had a summer. Okay, we'll give him an hour. He's not an old man. He will be able to play for football for an hour. Do you know what I mean? I can do it. Yeah. and I'm in my 40s. I can go play footy after work for an hour.
Yeah.
Jackson is prime. Give him 60 minutes, 70 minutes.
I thought so.
So you go to the new stadium, the Hill Dickinson Stadium, on Sunday, isn't it? You play the home to Brighton. You'd be hoping to get something out of that. I mean, you look at last night and maybe you think you've been very quiet in the transfer window. David Moyes has said that. He said he needs a few more players, a lot more players. Maybe this last night will be the nudge to the board that, this needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely. But I'd sooner them have made these kinds of sounds out when we're not playing. You know what I mean? Not when we're about to play Leeds. Don't put a side out that is incapable of competing against Leeds. No offense to Leeds, they were excellent last night, but don't do it in the point of where we've now lost 3 points. We've lost a point. We've had a dodgy penalty decision. We should have the side in place, but we haven't. I mean, not just saying this in Moyes' time. Dyche, Ancelotti, Martinez, going back and back and back. We've never had a full squad prepared for the Premier League. You know, we haven't had a right back properly for God knows how long. We still got Seamus Coleman there. Nathan Patterson isn't available. We've got one left back who's now injured. We have no idea what happened to Adam Asnew last night, why he wasn't even available, and we've had to put James Garner as a makeshift left back. It screams of a lack of like being so underprepared. Again, it's not new to Evertonians. We've been around and seen this happen all the time.
Dave, obviously, the opening of the new stadium ought to be a matter of great pride for the club and all the rest of it. I mean, I remember when I first went to the new Spurs stadium, I was almost in awe and there were tears in my eyes because I thought it was such an amazing sort of space station. But I have to be honest, there's still a part of me that absolutely pines for the old White Hart Lane, where so much of my blood, sweat, tears, money and emotion still lies. Do you think you're going to have the same mixed feelings? Because Goodison was, and I'm glad to see that it'll still be used, it is such an amazing football ground.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the new stadium is what the club needed. It's what it needed to move forward. Our heart will always be at Goodison Park, always, and we'll always reflect back at that. You know, there's something, I've said it a few times, like, just give me that one moment where I'm watching Jack Grealish or Illiman die one more time, and I hear all the seats clack up at Goodison Park. That's the sound that is so unforgettable, and you'd bottle that if you could, and you'd keep that. And that's the kind of atmosphere and the kind of thing that we need to bring back. But it starts by giving us a team that gets us off our feet.
Listen, thank you very much. It's been great to hear your passion and your voice here on Talksport. Not the happiest with the early stages of the new season. Dave Johnson there from Falcon Blues, the Everton supporters group, definitely feeling that the board need to get their finger out in the next 2 weeks, but also looking forward to what should be a brilliant game at the weekend when they unveil the new stadium. Much to say, the way it sort of appears to float, it's somehow, I'm loving the way it looks. I really am. Next